All right, what's next, Pepe? What do we got, buddy? Put it up here. Okay, I'm not going to get too deep into this. I'm not feeling too numbery right now. Okay. Star Citizen and CLoud Imperium Games, 12 years and $700 million later with exclusive details. All it's called is a balance sheet.
Star Citizen's turbulent 12-year development cycle hasn't been much of a secret. A quick search on YouTube or Google will reveal a plethora of issues that the project has suffered since its inception in 2012. From broken promises to cut features, backers have learned to either abandon ship or strap themselves in for a ride with no final destination in sight. Frustrations are at an all-time high, and for many of those working on the game, it's a...
I don't I don't subscribe to that. I don't think like everybody's like upset and holding pitchforks and fucking. I think there's a very rational portion of the audience that is just like, dude, like for the everything game, it's going to take a lot of time. And I will play other titles if I get upset. I will go outside. I will do the shit that I have to do in the real. And you know what? I'm going to come back to it and see what they did. There's a huge portion of the audience not being represented. I can't imagine that like 50% of people, like I can't imagine half of the people like carrying pitchforks and torches on this. I just can't. I mean, I think that's what the content creators are making you believe right now, that like they're over half of people are holding pitchforks and watch out, the torches are being lit right now. Like I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. I don't agree with what he said.
Mutual feeling. But what's actually going on at CLoud Imperium Games, and why have things gotten to this point? On October 1st, the inboxes of CIG developers were hit by a new mandate from Global Head of Production Aaron Roberts. Those working on CitizenCon deliverables must work every day, including weekends, until October 19th. The mandate forced employees to work 19 straight days for...
Yeah, this is the sucky thing, man. In the game dev world, this shit happens all the time. This is nothing new to game devs. I'm not saying it's right, by the way. I'm not saying it's right. But in the game dev world, this is nothing new. I have plenty of fucking game devs I speak with. Every single one of them is going to tell you this is very normal in this world, where there's these fucking deadlines and they gotta fucking get them done, and they push them way too fucking hard. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they fucking do that all the time.
For a minimum of 8 hours per day up until CitizenCon, with time off in lieu being offered for the Saturday and Sunday hours worked, as well as breakfast goods and lunch being offered. It's a mandate that was quickly altered after staff raised questions about the legalities surrounding it. So instead, CIG opted to give employees Sundays off if they meet the minimum threshold of 56 hours worked from Monday to Saturday.
The irony is eventually all this shit's going to be done by AI anyway, and they would be glad to work whenever they can fucking work because they'd be making money instead of the AI taking their job away. That, I mean, it's not funny. It's the dark humor of it all. That, like, you know, fucking 4, 5, 6 years down the road, when all the fucking AI is taking all that work and they don't have any of that shit left, they're going to be praying for days when they got fucking made to work 6 out of 7 days a fucking week. And you bet sure it's coming. It's fucking coming, man. It's like a train. I can hear it in the distance, man.
A change that would still be illegal in UK law if CIG employee contracts didn't contain an opt-out agreement of the 48-hour weekly limit. In addition to the sudden change, Insider Gaming had also asked for comment on our original report on the mandate, which seemingly prompted an email to be sent by Roberts to staff to also give employees October 21st off as a free company holiday. Perhaps it was just a weird coincidence, but it's a gesture that some employees say likely wouldn't have happened if the news of the mandate wasn't going to be made public. Most staff saw it as a band-aid over a bullet wound, saying that...
Aether says, has nobody ever worked a salaried job before? I think it's possibly that most of the Star Citizen content creators and maybe their audiences maybe have not had a salary job, man. Dude, I was grateful. I remember when I was a kid, I had an hourly back in the fucking day. I got paid like $11 an hour in the 90s, which was decent. And that was my starting pay. in the fucking 90s. And I was like, okay, cool. But then later on, I got a salary job. Oh my God. All the difference in the world. I was like, what a nice little bump up that was, right? But the problem is like they own your ass. So like they need you to work afterwards. You know, it's 5:30 and you think it's time to go. It ain't time to go. If they need you, I can't tell you how many times I stayed till like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I wasn't getting paid anything extra either because it was salary. My bonus was the fact that I got paid salary. And I was grateful for that shit. And that's just the way it rolled up in there, you know, like, like that's just the way things went, you know. And that's what a salary job is, man. That's what a salary job is.
The company needs a complete overhaul to survive. Some workers think that CIG has already passed the point of no return, with its future heading in an unavoidable crash course due to its mismanagement and overspending. Over the past couple of weeks, Insider Gaming has spoken to over a dozen past and current employees on CIG's current situation, which gives a brief insight into the company's internal workings and possible future. As of 2022, according to its financials, the company has spent $637 million on development, with 2020 to 2022 averaging over $106 million per year. Assuming that the company continues spending around $100 million or so per year, it doesn't take a mathematician to realize that the $790 million raised so far at the time of writing is on the verge or likely has already run out. It's an assumption
that is such a really as if the money will just stop coming in. Like, this is such a very, very basic view of business. No, that's not how things work. The money keeps getting pulled in regardless. It's just like revenues just don't stop out of the blue and they used up all their money. Like, you know, like they have access to various types of credit limits, being how big they are. They've got financial tools that'll help them get through hard times. Hell, 2022 should have taught everybody that in a time where everybody was getting fucking bankrupted. In 2022, a recessionary period where people were going out of business left and right. And what was CLoud Imperium doing? Oh, that's right. They made a profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at the financials, you got to, first off, I want to see some charts up here. Like, you know, like he's throwing out these numbers. Like, here's my constructive criticism to this dude. And, you know, I'm just trying to help, you know, for if he wants it or not. But if you're going to start talking about numbers, you know, start laying out some fucking charts. Let me see a quarterly on here. Let me see something. Let me see some fucking numbers. Let me see a chart, circle shit, you know, show me what's going on so that we can all follow along. Because I'm feeling like we're just going off the seat of our pants here and just being like, oh, they ran out of money. That's it. Close the shop.
Felt by both current and former employees at the company, who say that they've been experiencing the effects of apparent dwindling funds these past 12 months. Earlier this year, CIG quietly laid off an estimated 100 to 150 staff members at its Austin and LA offices.
This is all normal, by the way. Like, you know, we don't need to be raising up the red flags and the alerts and all this shit. Like, this is all part of the fucking growth and compression of an actual business in the real world. This is exactly what I talked about last week and the week before that, about looking at what their numbers are, like their revenues, right? They're probably plateau this year. They might edge up. They might beat last year's revenue numbers. They might plateau. They might start going down. If they start going down, that's part of business. That shit happens. And then they got to take their cue from that. Why did people spend less money? Was it harder out there? Was it harder for people? Well, maybe we weren't marketing correctly. Maybe the ship designs weren't that great for the year. Maybe there's a whole bunch of variables put into that. And that data, they coalesce that data and they make a decision based on the data. But so far, the data has shown in terms of the money that they're making, there's no reason for them to change. Don't fix what isn't broken. And if they're having harder times cash flow wise and they need to lay off people, guess what? That shit happens too. That's just part of business. This isn't like something where you're like, oh no, like watch out. The game might be canceled now. Like, I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting with this.
The company had hoped that the move would go under the radar because affected employees were told to sign non-disclosure agreements, which prevented them from announcing their departure on social media.
I didn't see.
Former employees said those who refused to sign were told that they would not get any form of severance. Undoubtedly, the information about the layoffs hit the internet because of those who refused to sign NDAs or decide to speak to the press. The information on the layoffs eventually forced CIG's hand, and the company issued a statement revealing that, quote, a small number of positions were eliminated and that it had decided to co-locate as much development as possible.
I don't know why that they would have to even volunteer that information if they didn't want to. They're a private company. Because they fired people does not mean that they are obligated to tell the entire world that they fired people. They're a private company that are deciding to show their financials. Now, on the English side of things, across the pond there, with all my English mates, there's something called, what is it called? It's a public area where their numbers are kept. So the way they do business over in England, all the numbers have to be shown on every company. There's no such thing as a private company. I mean, like the way that they create their business over there, all the numbers have to be on the record. All of it has to be public. So we know all the numbers over there in England. We always have. But that was not the way over on this side of the pond in the States. And for the longest time, I was bitching about that on this channel as the very first person to cover financials here and go over them with people. And there were plenty of people that understood financials and came to this channel to get the real on what was happening with the business model back in the day. And I think I was partially the reason why CLoud Imperium started posting their numbers in America. They didn't have to do that in America. Yeah, I think it's called Company's House. Is that it? Yeah, I think it's called Company's House, where you file your business and all legal documents. I think it's called Company's House, Aether. You're correct. And all the numbers have to be displayed over there if you're a company over in England. But in the States, that's not the way it is. In the States, if you're a private-based company, you don't have to show anything. You don't have to show your numbers. And I was bitching, show your numbers, show your numbers, show your numbers. And they did. That is huge. A private company that decides to be that transparent and show their numbers here in America when they don't have to be. I mean, let's give credit where credit's due, for God's sake.
Staff members also felt the financial burden, with wage increases being frozen and the prospect of career progression seemingly being halted, all as the cost of living continues to rise. Some employees told Insider Gaming that they're now struggling to make ends meet, leading some to contemplate leaving the company and questioning their future in the industry entirely. One employee even joked that at least they have baristas serving them coffee, referencing the over-the-top coffee bar that takes up a large portion of the 9th floor in its new Manchester building. According to multiple sources who believe backers' money could be spent more efficiently, the coffee bar is just one example of CIG's unnecessary spending habits.
Who's to say it's unnecessary? If I was drinking coffee there and I was an employee and I got some sweet ass coffee from some fucking cafe and I like the coffee, then fuck yeah, I like that shit. Don't take that away from me. That's a necessary part of my day is coffee. Right. I mean, like, that sounds like a pretty cool ass company. Is that unnecessary or is that just smart business? If I'm working at a place that has an area where I can go to that's like a cafe and I can get myself a fucking coffee, and that's a positive thing, man. That's helping me get through my day. Maybe I might even work a little bit more than I normally would, for God's sake. Who's to say that's a waste of money? Morale is a huge fucking expense, and you have to spend that money for the morale. You don't want fucking robots working for you all day long. You want somewhere you can go where you can chill out and have a coffee, for fuck's sake, man. That sounds like smart business to me. Smart business.
Spending tens of thousands of pounds on custom furniture and oversized props isn't unusual, sources say, with management justifying its spending habits because it's, quote, pushing the boundaries of game development. Its Manchester office, which still is under construction on one floor, consists of custom wall paneling, doors, and even desks to make employees feel like they're living in the Star Citizen universe.
I mean, are people so entitled to think that this is the only title we're going to get? Are people so entitled to think that like they're not that they're only here to make us Star Citizen? Do people not realize that this is a game dev company that will continue making? They're going to make more. I can almost guarantee you they'll make more. Once they fucking get this shit nailed down, they got enough places. They have enough people right now. They could fucking make more if they wanted to make more. In fact, if you look at the menu, the welcome screen, you can almost see like multiple titles just start to line up over the next few years, man. 10 years, maybe even longer. Who the fuck knows, man? As long as they're making revenue, and they're fucking doing great. They're doing fine, man. I see nothing in the numbers yet that makes me even the slightest bit worried. Nothing.
One employee described the office as, quote, almost a space version of Willy Wonka's factory that caters to taste over functionality. Pushing the boundaries of game development is often a phrase used by management, sources say, who use it repeatedly to explain CIG's unorthodox game development processes. This includes rationalizing almost all processes of the development pipeline, including how to work on CIG's Star engine, a heavily modified version of the Cry engine that has been the cause of years of delays and pushbacks. Staff described the engine as a Frankenstein, a mishmash of parts that's difficult to work with at the best of times, never mind when features are added, changed, or removed daily. Both current and former staff say that one of the fundamental issues at CIG is the creative process, which will see the head honcho of CIG, Chris Roberts, make game-defining changes daily that can cause weeks' worth of issues. Roberts is relatively well known in and out of the Star Citizen community for being a perfectionist at the best.
Here's what needs to happen. When the boss says he wants to see something in the game that he's fucking making, you better fucking do it. Period. Full stop. I mean, like, regardless if it takes weeks to fix shit, if Chris sees something in this that's the game that he's making, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't want this. I want this. Okay, that's what he's fucking paying you for. So make that shit happen. He's the fucking boss. Hello? What is going on here? Am I in some type of alternate reality where the person who's the fucking CEO doesn't make decisions for the entire fucking benefit of all? Or like, listen, it might cause people to get fucking pissed off. I'm sure he said a lot of things all the way up now till the present, and he's definitely going to say things in the future that are going to piss off all the game devs working there, and they're going to be like, but what this, but then this, but what kind, hi, if I change this, then how do I do this? Oh, if I do this, that sets me back 4 weeks. If I do this, oh fuck, oh what are you doing, Chris? Oh, if I do this, oh shit. Get it fucking done. That's what you get paid for. Hello? Like, what? Hello? Isn't this the world that we're living in? Isn't that your boss? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? If the fucking boss says he wants something the way that he wants it, well, you're getting paid by him. He's the boss. You might not like it, but that's what you got to do because that's what you're getting paid for. What world am I living in, man? What world am I living in? What's going on? What's up online? How you doing?
Times. Still, developers feel that his constant changes in vision and scope have become one of the most significant burdens to Star Citizen, Squadron 42, and CIG as a development studio. Staff say that this isn't just on the prominent game features either, but down to the most minute of details. They said that the decisions that should take a matter of seconds creatively can sometimes take hours or even days due to his micromanagement. Said one former employee, quote, I've genuinely been sat in meetings that got derailed for 30 minutes so that the placement of objects that players are likely to never interact with could be discussed in detail.
It's not, listen. I don't know who this employee is, and maybe this guy's got a better fucking point of view, right? But like, what is your position with the company? Fucking what is your position with the company? Why does your input matter? Did I pay you for your input to matter? No? Okay. Then I don't give a fuck that the meeting got derailed for 30 minutes. Right. Did you sit? Do you know how many meetings I sat in where I was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, this meeting blows. I can't believe this. Oh my God. But did I say anything about it? No, I was getting paid to do a fucking job, man. I might have bitched to my friend Ellen, like, can you believe this shit, motherfucking shit? Like, you know what I mean? This motherfucker's talking to like a reporter. He's telling everybody, he's like, motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know, man. To me, it's like some of this shit's really manufactured drama for real.
There's just no actual focus on getting the game done. Said another employee, quote, sometimes...
Who is this anonymous person, man? Can we get an interview with this anonymous person?
The most basic features can be reviewed by Roberts half a dozen times for it to then be...
You know, I hear this shit all the time. Like, this anonymous person said this. This anonymous person said that. I have never seen the content where somebody actually interviews somebody and shows their face and says yes, and there's proof that he worked there. I haven't seen that interview with that person. If there is one, shit, I'll watch the shit out of that. That'll be entertaining. Now, that's the drama I want to get into. Show me an actual employee that's worked there and give me like a juicy interview. Then I'll watch that shit. Where is that shit? Somebody link me that shit. I want to see it. I want to see the actual employee that's like giving out the juice. Like, spill the beans, man. Tell us everything that's going on. Let me see the interviewer. I want a serious English interviewer. Somebody who speaks like this and says, listen, I know you've been working for CLoud Imperium for at least 5 years. Can you tell me the ins and outs and the things that you liked and the things that you don't like? I want that serious reporter, and I want some person on the other end. It's like, yeah, man. So like, listen, I was sat in my chair all day long and like I had to go to this cafe. I went to the cafe and they didn't have a latte there. Can you believe that? They didn't have a fucking latte. Oh my God. They only had like black coffee. Who likes black coffee? I do. I love black coffee. I love black coffee, Pepe. Oh, and they didn't have like foam. They didn't have the cool foam. They didn't have a cool foam. Oh, they were out of cool foam. How can you not have the cold foam? How can you not have the cold foam? Where's the interview at, man? Where's the interview at? I want to see the person getting interviewed. Give me that coolness. That's the drama, man. That's the drama I want to see. What's up, Weetsy? How you doing, man? I'm glad you're having a good night with us tonight. I'm glad you're on my page, Weetsy. Right, Daft. No foam, I quit. Right, no foam at my cafe. Oh shit, I'm out of here. Peace out.
Scrapped or changed on the 7th review. The constant changes in scope are made worse by inappropriate deadlines, which will see months worth of work expected within weeks or even days, which still ultimately runs the risk of being scrapped entirely. The constant creative changes, micromanagement, poorly optimized engine, and lack of standard development processes have led many experienced developers to leave CIG in recent years, with some of those we spoke to preferring a more traditional form of game development. CIG's change in experienced staff has undoubtedly had a knock-on effect on its culture, with sources saying that the studio now has one of the strongest cult-like mentalities in the entire industry. It's the result of CIG's own doing, which will see experienced staff replaced by younger and cheaper developers.
Yeah, all cultists. Yeah, like, you know, I love this shit. Like, you know, like when somebody has this vision of making something really cool for humanity, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of changes the way things go. Like, you know, Steve Jobs with Apple, everybody called the people that were like highly into Apple cultists, and they were. Didn't stop Apple from making cool shit. Apple made it, and the cult made the cult believed in it. The cult made it reality. Now everybody's got a fucking iPhone. Okay. Tell me I'm wrong. What about Tesla? Everybody called everybody in Tesla cultists. They said, oh, these will never, you can't get this many EVs being sold. There's no way this many EVs will get sold. Nobody even knew what adoption was. Nobody even understood Metcalfe's law. Nobody even got what the fuck was going on. It was a change. And they called all the people that believed in Tesla. Hell, they still do to this day. They still call people who are buying Apple products cultists. They're calling people who are buying Teslas cultists. You know, that doesn't change the fact that they became a reality and they became fucking successful and dominated and owned it up. Why compare this? That's not even made $1 billion in revenue. It's a small little drop in a bucket right now, this company. But like what they're trying to do could be huge for the gaming industry. And I'm talking about revolutionizing dynamic server meshing. That tech alone, to license it, it's like how Tesla's licensing out FSD, full self-driving. It's the same fucking thing. They could do it with any game dev they wanted to who wanted to employ the tech. This tech could literally change the way MMOs are fucking structured, played worldwide, man. It's a game changer. It's big. And for people that just want to blow it off and say it's nothing, no comparison, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You have no idea, man. If you listen to somebody who says that that's not important, then you're on the wrong channel. You get off that channel. You get to another channel because that person has no idea what the fuck they are talking about at all. Don't even take them seriously. Don't give them any legitimacy. Doesn't mean that CLoud Imperium is going to do it, but they're trying. And somebody's trying. And I'm glad somebody's trying. I'm glad that there's somebody out there trying, because if nobody's trying it, well, shit, nothing's going to change. It's fucking duh.
Developers will find it difficult to learn from more experienced staff because there aren't any. One source even went on to say that they're aware of some people who were hired simply because they were fans of the game. One current developer said that, quote, "It's created an unhealthy place to work where you can't push back on anything." A different former developer added that they're repeating mistakes that other companies made 20 years ago, which contributes to the shortcomings of their ambitious features.
I mean, all this talk, these people think they know what they're fucking, like, oh, this is how you need to think about things. I mean, look at this. They are repeating mistakes that other companies made 20 years ago, which contributes to the shortcomings of their project. I don't know, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Most experienced staff will leave for one reason or another, usually within a year, which has created a studio where a large portion of its staff will have Star Citizen as their first shipped game. It remains to be seen how CIG will continue developing its games as its funds seemingly.
This, all this proves to me, all this fucking hearsay and all these miscellaneous anonymous quotes from employees. I'm sure there are employees that are saying this shit, but this only makes me think one thing. This only concretes and crystallizes one thing in my brain, and that is AI will most definitely take over the jobs. Nobody, and I mean Chris included, wants to deal with the drama anymore, and guess what? The AI is not going to give them any drama, and it will be cheap, and they don't have to pay somebody to do it. That expense of actually having humans do shit will be all cash in their pocket, and they won't have to fucking worry about it. And this just is that's scary to me, because you got a whole fucking industry that's going to be taken over by AI, and these people are just like, is the drama at the end of the day, is the drama worth it? Do people in this industry not see what's coming down the way? It's sure as hell scary for a lot of people out there. My daughter was saying the other day, she went through a Taco Bell. She said, "Dad, I put an order in on the menu with AI." I was like, get the fuck out of here. So apparently they got AI working the menus over at Taco Bell's now, which made me think I should look at like Yum Brands. What's the stock price on a Yum Brands right now? Couldn't afford it anyway. I can't even afford food. I'm seeing a lot of nexts right now. And you guys are right. You guys are feeling the kind of salad vibes? Are you guys feeling some salad vibes?
Warning, incoming salad vibes.
Yeah, McDonald's, I mean, shit. McDonald's, they're going to have robots soon at McDonald's. McDonald's is already as AI as you can fucking get. McDonald's is going to have some motherfucking Tesla bots in there serving me fries, man. Maybe they actually give me enough and they'll be cooked correctly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe these bots can make some better food than these kids can these days, man.